Okay, I did come back to the model table last night, so we are going to have a rollback. And in the rollback, after you watched it, I was sort of undecided about what I was going to do here at the stern of the ship, which is where we are now, at least for the railing. And yeah, I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to break this back panel off, and then I can get back in there a little bit. Well, you know what? Why don't you watch the rollback so that it sort of makes sense? In the meantime, we had snow last night, and right now, looking at the where the carrot patch was, I can't hardly tell. You know, I know it's there, but it's all covered over. So our little bunny friends, they're going to have to do a little bit of digging. But as I've said before, I think they can probably figure that out. I'm sure that you know, what do they do in the wild? You know, here they're sort of in an urban area where people are feeding them. At least this people is. Yeah, so, and in all likelihood, according to the weather forecast, I'm probably going to have to get my snowblower out tomorrow, so that'll be fun. Yeah. And maybe I should see if my grandson wants to come over and watch. Yeah, he's on Christmas holidays, so we'll see how it goes. Anyway, let's get on here and get ourselves recomposed and get you moved in nice and close so that you can see the detail. Like I'll bet you can't see this where the paint doesn't match too good. I bet you don't notice that because you're at kind of like arm's length. Okay, yeah, let's get on with it today. Okay, we have moved to the stern section. Now, this ladder or companionway or whatever you want to call it, it is, alright, I don't do retakes, but I could, I guess. I'm always, as I've said before, I'm afraid of squeezing too hard and bending something, but it goes right there. You can see that there's a little place that this is supposed to sort of fasten onto. Now, there's got to be more that goes with this, because you know, just adhering it there, it's soon going to break off. It must fasten up with something. It seems to me we talked about that before. Now with the Bismarck, it was quite clear, but it seems to me that in this particular manual, it's not clear as to what supports the bottom of it. But we'll figure it out when we get there. Might have to make something up. I think I've talked about that. I know that there are davits that go on here, and we'll probably have to maybe make something up like, well, I don't think I'll use easy line, but it'll be something like that. Anyway, so what I'm saying is that we don't need to worry about this ladder or companionway or gangway or whatever. But there's another one, that one of the shorter ones here. It's actually this one right here, and it goes at the back here, and on this one we will have to have a split in the railing, and I think it goes right here where I'm touching right now. You probably can't see it, but there's a little marking right there. Anyway, let's turn the page here and get to the step. that deals with the back railing. Okay, we've done the bow. We are temporarily on the last page. Now they just show it being put on one side and you put the other side on mirror image. Yeah. You can see where it goes there. There's a little square box. I'm gonna move in so we can see what we're doing. I just wanted to show you that we don't need to worry about this one here. But what is most unusual about this one here is that, yeah, it goes right there, and they provided this little ledge here for it to sort of hook onto. But there isn't even a drawing for the door. You know, like there would have been some sort of a door there, or maybe on the real ship it was open. Who knows? I suppose we could probably find photographs, but at this point I don't care. I'm getting to the place where I just want to hurry up and get this thing in the case. Maybe that's a bad way to look at it, but that's sort of the way I'm feeling right now. You probably already picked up on that when I was doing the railing. When I came to the bollards or whatever it was, or the fairways on the bow, instead of cutting the railing and making up special posts and all the rest of it, I just went around it, because at arm's length you don't notice it. It's only when you get up really close. And I'm noticing I'm getting dust or something in here. Okay, we got it. I suppose I shouldn't have licked my finger and stuck it down there on that paint, but I did. Okay, let's move the camera and get down here. I think the thing to do will be to just sort of lay a piece of railing along and just see where it comes. Oh, wait a minute. Hold it a second. Photo etch 2, photo etch 1. Okay, this is where we use would it be the shorter or the longer piece of photo etch? It would probably be the short one, PE2. Okay, good thing I noticed that. I guess I should steady this thing a lot better before I actually start gluing stuff down, right? Okay, here we are, PE2, the shorter one. Now, if you look at the drawing here, the posts are evenly spaced all the way along. But on the real part, they're evenly spaced until you get to this end. And then you've got the last two spaces are closer together. But it doesn't show that here. And I've looked at it really close. There's no difference there. But obviously is it that way because it's only slightly shorter? Instead of two sections like this, there's just one, so they divided it, and it really doesn't matter, if you have this special end right here where the ladder goes, or is it supposed to be at the back here? And then there's another little thing. You know what? Maybe what I should do is I should nip it out of here, get it off of the fret, and see where it comes. It's not showing anything else. Like, it shows the end of it. If you follow it, I've found with these Trumpeter instructions that you follow the arrow right down, and where the beginning of the arrow starts and where it ends, that's where this part and this part is supposed to meet. Now we do have this cross piece here in which the Jacob's ladders hang down from. Actually, they were supposed to have been put on already, and we didn't put them on because we were afraid of breaking them off. I'm wondering if maybe I should put them on now. The problem is you can't see it from the angle you're at, but this cradle is not the right shape for that. Well, I'll have to think about this. Okay. It's almost as though the people at Trumpeter that were designing this manual thought to themselves, well, if the person has gotten this far, they're probably going to be able to figure out how to get around this problem without us having to draw it in there or make up special parts. I wonder how many of these kits ended up in the trash bin before they got to this step. That'd be too bad if somebody gave up, because anything you know, unless it's really glued together sloppily, you know, anything it still would look pretty good. That would be really too bad. But I can see somebody maybe having a lot of problems and, you know, maybe breaking, you know, little davits off or something like that and getting really discouraged and, you know, just trashing the whole thing. But that, like I say, that would be really too bad. But anyway, we got this part here, and it clearly shows that the end of the ladder comes over top of this thing that the Jacob's ladder hangs on. Like I say, I just can't make up my mind here. Maybe I'm getting too tired. It is almost 7 o'clock. Well, there's one thing for sure, and that is that we have to get this railing out of this fret. And I think everybody's seen me use this to death. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it and get it done with. That doesn't take too much brain work. Okay, we've got them. And I was going to put them in the test tube. And then I realized that it'd be a little difficult maybe to tell. Separate them from the ones that are half an inch or whatever longer. So I dug this thing back out of the garbage. I thought it wasn't going to need it anymore. And I just bent my rail there a little bit. Well, we can fix that. I think I mentioned this before, but I am sure that these photo etch rails are much more delicate than the ones, the same ones that we did with the Bismarck. I am sure of it. Either that or I'm a whole year more klutzy. Yeah, we can fix that. That's not a problem. Okay, so if I sleep on it, I sort of understand how that phenomenon can work. There's no magic involved. I know we were talking about Jacob's ladders that we're going to be installing here and there on the ship. I think most of you know where that story came from. The idea is that Jacob had a dream. And but you know what? It was just a dream. And yeah, and then his dream sort of got out of hand. I remember when I was younger, I actually believed that he really saw that. But now I'm realizing he really had a dream. If there even was a Jacob, it could have been just a story, who knows. Anyway, we'll see you in the morning. Okay, now the plan is to just sort of pry this back and I'm hoping it's going to let go right there. I can't remember if I drove pins up from the bottom or if it's just strictly glued together. It could be that I did pin it. I'm just going to try. I'm going to put steady force on it and see if it snaps off. And if not, well, I think maybe the safest thing to do at this point, which in itself is not a safe thing to do, but I'm going to clear a spot on the back of the table there and lift our hood out and put it on the cloth, on the green cloth, and that way I can turn this over and see what's going on right here. Now there is another thing I could do. I could leave the... See, the problem is that the stern is too close to the back here, and that little part that I want to put on here. Oh, I don't know, maybe I didn't make it clear. I have decided that it is probably better to put this part on that is going to, that the Jacob's ladders are going to suspend down from first, before the railing, because I think once the railing is on, it might be kind of hard to, you know, cut lower rails or whatever needs to be done here. It's going to be a little bit of finagling around, that's for sure. But anyway, I'm just going to stand up here and just give it one more try and see if it'll snap off. Now, on the other hand, I'm liable to end up with little pins sticking up. Well, let's just see what happens here. Okay, I can get better leverage here now. Doesn't want to come. I could hear it cracking. Okay, let's make a spot on the back there and get our hood out of this thing. Okay, I think there's enough room back there, and I don't think there's anything sharp on the cloth here that's going to hurt the bottom of the hull. And I don't think we need to worry about the deck popping out when I lift up on it. This is actually a very handy place to lift up on. Yeah, it's ooh, I bumped the railing there. I guess I was looking straight down on it and it sort of edged on and you can't see it. Anyway, it survived. Now let's just go very, very slowly and deliberately here. Okay, I'll lift straight up so I don't scrape the sides of the hull. There we go. Don't move. Okay, now we can turn this over and see what we got going on back here. Okay. Very carefully now, let's just turn this over on its side, watching that we don't let it fall over onto our ship. Alright, yeah, that's going to stay there. Alright, maybe I'll move this so you can see a little better. I did nail it in. I used the headless pinner, obviously. And those almost look like brad nails. That's not the headless pinner. The headless pinner, I'll move you in so you can see. Okay, this is not the headless pinner. If I had to use the headless pinner here, there would have been just a little tiny hole that you'd hardly be able to see the end of it. These are not going to pull out easily. They're probably, I don't know what length I used, but they probably go at least an inch into this thing here that you probably can't see. And I do believe this is hardwood, so they're going to be kind of hard to pull out. I'm sort of thinking now maybe what I should do is just Well, let me get this back down here and, okay, very carefully, Ron. Very carefully. Okay. Maybe cut away. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it down to my workshop and just cut it down, and I'm going to leave these on. They'll make good handles to hold on to anyway. Now, please don't anybody comment and say, Ron, it looks like you put on a little weight over the Christmas holidays. Because I did. No, it still works. After, over 40 years ago I made that case with those fluorescent bulbs in there, and they still work. Mind you, they're not on very much. By the way, Peter, I know you're going to be putting lighting in your Titanic. I mean your Queen Mary 2. But I've got lighting on my Titanic. That's about the best I can do when it comes to lighting. Yeah, fiber optics were sort of in their infancy back when I made that. It probably would have taken a power supply as big as this room to run fiber optics we had back then. I'm just guessing. That's about right. Okay, now we got the ticking. Okay, so exactly now what do I want to do? Well, I want to come across like, I'll move you in. Oh, there's something else I want to show you too. The kind of nails that actually go into the bottom there that we were talking about when we were upstairs. Okay, right now my furnace is running, so I hope you can hear me okay. But we were talking about these brad nails here, and it was the 18 gauge. I think I said 21, but it's 18 gauge. These are the ones that are in there right now. They could well be the same ones that actually went up in there. They come shorter and they come longer, and I got all the different sizes and a lifetime supply of everything, so I'll never use them all up. Anyway, I thought you might be interested in seeing that. Okay, so my plan is I'd like to come in from the side, go around this bracket, and just sort of down a little bit and back up, and at least that's the plan. Now, this blade is nice and sharp, but there's not very much set in the blade, so it's not really designed for scrolling. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'll know as soon as I try to go down how it's going to turn. I haven't used this blade for a year or so, but from what I remember, it does not scroll well, but it cuts well. I'll move you around the other side here. Now I'm just going to eyeball it here. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now, 'cause, 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 I guess I should have gone 1/8 of an inch higher. That's not too bad considering I didn't have a line to follow on. Okay, very careful now, Ron. Don't go catching anything on the ship. All right. Now, I think we're ready to go here. Now, woodworking, by the way, is actually my first love. And somebody's going to probably think to themselves, well, Ron, why are you sitting there at the model table? Well, that's just it, guys. I'm sitting. And almost everything I have to do down in the workshop, I'm standing all the time. And I've got arthritis in my knees, as I keep telling you over the years. And you know, standing it hurts after a while. In fact, I was getting kind of sore already, just a little bit I did down there a few minutes ago. So yeah, so that's why I'm sitting at the model table. And I'm having a good time. And I know that the workshop is down there. It's right underneath where I'm sitting. Should I need to cut a board? Well, I can go do it. It's sort of like the guys that have those big monster trucks, you know, with the great big wheels and you know, they're not going to want to drive over top of the car that stopped in front of them, but the knowledge that they can if they want to, you know, well, that's the sort of the way it is with my workshop. I know it's there if I want to. Yeah. Anyway, let's carry on here. I guess I'm gonna have to stand up again and get this back on. Maybe I'll just sort of reposition just a little bit here. Okay, now I can't remember exactly where I had these last time. Maybe I'll move them back just a little bit. The idea is so that the stern will raise up and the railing will clear these things here. I think it will now. I can always readjust, I guess, later. All right, very slowly and very carefully here. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good. The railing's clear. Okay, let's move back and see if we can get some on here. Okay, I realize I said we'll move back and put on some railings, but the whole idea of going down into the workshop was so that we could cut this away so that we could easily put this part on. And it looks like it's got little supports coming out, so I would think that they are supposed to be down. And you will notice that this thing that this part here does not come to the center, it's off to the side. So that would mean that it's supposed to somehow clear. Now where would that go? Now you notice that there are 5 little protrusions coming up out of the deck here, which I meticulously painted gray. Now, are they to sort of, you know, is it supposed to mark it like this? Is that the way this is supposed to go? You know, like where exactly is this supposed to go here? Let's see if we can check the manual. Okay, once again, the manual is not real clear. However, I'm pretty sure it goes like this. This cross boom is supposed to go right over top, like straddle these little bumps. At least I think they're bumps. Maybe I should put on my stronger glasses. Maybe they're little holes. Is that little holes? And I just thought they were bumps. Let me get my glasses on. Oh, for goodness sakes! No, I'm feeling kind of stupid right now. Those weren't bumps. Those are little holes. Okay, now is maybe, are these supposed to fit in the hole? Let's see if it matches up. No, that one doesn't. But those ones do. Oh, Ron! Put your strong glasses on before you make a fool of yourself. Okay, that's the way it's supposed to go. You know, from my perspective a few minutes ago, I thought that those 5 little holes were actually little protrusions that I had painted black. Oh my goodness, maybe it's time to wrap this up. Okay, now don't worry, folks. I am not going to wrap it up. But wasn't that embarrassing? Let's get it out of the hole there. Just going to set it back. Just put it back out of the way. Now, I imagine that this hole that's in the front that I'm touching right now with Tony's tweezer is probably for the flag. Okay. Now, I don't know what these other holes are for, but they don't match up with this, so... Oh! Wait a minute. This is the stern of the ship. And the ensign flag on the stern is different from the jackstand. So, yeah, that's right. So, okay, now it makes sense. Yeah, the ensign flag is going to go here, here, and here like a tripod. Okay, now... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the extra thin here. Oh, it's wicking onto the deck, isn't it? Well, it's too late now. Maybe what I should have done is put this in. Why is this not going well? There we go. Alright, I don't think I need any more extra thin. I think that once that cures, it's gonna, you know, now this one here may not be as strong as I'd like, but yeah, I think it's gonna be okay. I don't think I need to put any more on there. And if I do happen to accidentally break it loose, mind you, if it breaks loose easy, it might be sort of like the shear pins on my snowblower. That's sort of a safety thing. It's a lot better to break a shear pin than twist off a shaft or something, if you know what I mean. So if this lets go real easy, it could be a blessing in disguise. In that instead of snapping one of these booms off, well, you know what I'm talking about, I hope. Okay, you know what? I think we're going to wrap it up here today, folks. I'll probably continue on this evening, depending on how I feel. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we'll see you tomorrow.